Hey guys, how's it going? Wicked. Okay, so that was Armatage Shanks by Green Day. Now, just like last week, this song is from the album Insomniac, which, as we all know, being Green Day fans I'm sure, was the follow-up album to their breakthrough, which was Dookie. I don't think Insomniac did as well in terms of sales, but I still think it's a pretty iconic album. I mean, it's got some really memorable songs on it. For instance, we got Brain Stew, followed by Jaded, and then obviously Geek Stink Breath, which is a pretty well-known song of theirs. And then there's some lesser-known songs as well, like Armatage Shanks, Brat, that's a pretty cool one, Stuart and the Avenue, which I did last week. Yeah, some pretty damn good songs, and even a few of them were, in their eyes at least, deemed good enough to go on their International Super Hits album, which was basically just a compilation of greatest hits, which they released in 2001, I believe. So yeah, there's definitely some good songs on this one, and again, I know that I play mostly Nirvana on this channel, but I wanted to do something slightly different, just something a bit more upbeat, I guess. And Green Day's a good way to go with that because the songs are pretty easy to play and a lot of fun. So yeah. Okay, so before I say anything else, I want to be completely honest with you. When it came down to actually recording this song, I only managed to play it through all the way once. That's right, just the one time. I played it through a bunch of times just listening to it, but for some reason today, in front of the camera, I couldn't seem to nail it very well. I don't know why. I played it through once and managed to nail it the whole way, and then when I tried it again and again, I just kept getting caught up at certain bits. I don't know why. I think my rhythm's just off today or something, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully my first try was good enough because it sounded pretty good to me at the time, but I always like to record a few times just to sort of pick the best one, kind of cherry pick it, I guess, the best cover and use that one for the video. But yeah, I just did one this week, so hopefully it's good enough. As with a lot of Green Day's earlier material, this song is pretty fast, so I do forgive myself for kind of struggling with the strumming patterns, because in my personal experience learning Green Day songs, Billie Joe's strumming patterns were kind of unorthodox in some respects. I mean, they're not super technical, they're just kind of messing around with the timing and stuff like that. Yeah, that's just my personal perception, so feel free to comment if you disagree with me completely. I did watch live performances of the song, and it seemed like the way he played it kind of evolved over time. I don't know if that's because they enlisted the help of a second guitarist just to help with the rhythm, guitar parts, but I definitely noticed Billie Joe changing where he would play certain chords, sometimes he would play the D in the power chord position at the 7th fret of the A string, or he might be playing it just as the open chord, and just little bits and bobs like that really. I mean, sometimes he would play the E chord just in the open E position, and then sometimes he would play it at the 7th fret of the A string power chord shape. It's super not technical stuff, and you don't have to play it exactly the way he plays it, I guess, but I think on the album he was playing it the way I played it in this video, if that makes sense. I'm kind of rambling, I don't really know what I'm talking about, to be honest. It makes sense in my head at least, I promise you that. When it comes down to actually learning these songs and then practicing them for the videos, I normally just sit there with my PlayStation on and then just play the song off of YouTube and just sit there with the guitar and just play along, trying to hear the chords. I get the best results for that personally, for me at least anyway. And I feel like it's a more organic way of learning to play, trying to do it by ear. That's how I do all my videos, so if there are any inaccuracies, then that's why. Just blame it completely on me, because I'm doing it all by ear. But for me, that's just the best way, and it makes me feel more connected, like I'm actually achieving something, rather than just going on the internet and looking up tabs or using tab books. I mean, most of the time, for me at least, 90% of the time, the tabs on the internet aren't right, they're incorrect, and even tab books as well, they're not always right either. It just kind of feels like someone sat there one afternoon and just kind of transcribed it as a job. And not something they were kind of passionate about. I could be wrong about that, of course, but that's just the kind of impression I get, because you can tell sometimes that they're not really putting much thought into it. They're just kind of yep, that's the right note, that'll do. They don't sort of look into it and try to see how the artist was actually playing it. Maybe I'm being elitist, I don't know, but I know 100% that I'm not that good at playing the guitar. It's just something that I enjoy doing, so yeah, any mistakes are completely my fault. It's not somebody else's transcribing, whatever the word is. It's not somebody else's way of playing it, it's my personal way of playing it. So yeah, it's totally my interpretation, and the buck ends with me when it comes to whether it's right or wrong, I suppose. But if I get back to the point I was trying to make, yeah, when I was playing along to the song, I found the strumming patterns were kind of unusual, and every time I would play it differently. At least for like the first sort of like 5 or 6 tries, I would like do different strumming patterns for different parts of the songs. So I kind of like just narrowed it down and ended up doing it the way that I did it for the video, because that sounded the most correct to me. Again, you know, I do these videos completely like from my own perspective of the song, so somebody else listening to it might think the strumming pattern is different to how I did it, and you're more than welcome to that opinion, of course. And you know, with respect to my playing, you're probably right as well, because I know I'm not the best guitarist in the world, but like I said, it's just something that I enjoy doing. So yeah, and as I've said before, I do these videos for free, you know, it's just a hobby for me, it's just something that I want to share with you. So I hope it at least points you in the right direction when it comes to playing these songs. But bear in mind, you know, most of these videos I do, they are kind of like the culmination of like a whole day's work. You know, when it comes to actually learning the song and then setting up the cameras and recording it and then editing it as well, it is usually roughly about the same time as it would take for like a day at work kind of thing. So yeah, I do put a lot of effort into this, and I know you guys appreciate it. I don't mean to kind of like, you know, I'm not trying to make people feel sorry for me or anything. I'm just trying to explain it like from my side of the camera, I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, back to the actual point of this video, which is the song, Armatage Shanks. Now, it's an interesting title for a song because in the UK at least, Armatage Shanks is a manufacturer of toilets and urinals. Kind of an interesting concept, I guess. And for me personally, it always reminds me of like going to the pub. You know, when I was younger at least, I don't go there so much anymore, but when I was younger, I used to spend several hours at least in the old public house. And if you do that, you know, spend several hours there, you will inevitably end up using the facilities, i.e. the toilets. And yeah, it just reminds me of like going up to the urinal and seeing like Armatage Shanks like stamped at the top. Because when you're using the facilities, you don't really have much to look at, I suppose. You know, so I always ended up sort of like seeing the manufacturer logo on the urinal there. Interesting stuff, quality content coming from this channel. But yeah, with the actual lyrics to the song themselves, I don't know if they have any kind of like correlation with toilets, but yeah, I think I must insist on being a pessimist. I'm a loner in a claustrophobic mind. Yeah, you know, I suppose we can all kind of relate to being a pessimist at times, I guess. And stranded by myself, lost inside myself, my own worst friend and my own closest enemy. Again, you know, I suppose we can all relate to that at times. You know, we all kind of do things that sabotage our growth at times, I guess. But yeah, all these negative connotations are kind of shrouded in like what I would call an upbeat song. So yeah, you end up like tapping your feet to it, even though it is like kind of like a negative song, I guess. It's a toe tapper, as my dad would say. Yeah. Okay, so I'm probably going to end the video here, to be honest, just because there's not really much more I can say about the song, and I've gone through all of my sort of like bullet point notes that I make, my chicken scratch notes I've got going on here. Yeah, I mean, it's a super simple song, other than the fact it's fast. Do you like the way I keep trying to imprint that fact on you so that my bad playing doesn't come across too badly? Yeah, you know, it's not an extremely technical song, it's just power chords basically, so hopefully my bad playing didn't come across too badly, and my challenge for you is to learn how to play it better than I played it, basically, because like I said, it was one take and I kind of like had enough really, and I was just kind of like, that'll do. I don't normally have that attitude, to be honest. I do, you know, generally put a lot of effort into these videos, but yeah, I was struggling today for some reason, so hopefully it's good enough, fingers crossed. It should be fun to edit because I haven't actually typed out the tabs yet, so to future me, have fun editing it, because yeah, it's going to be a lot of work typing out the tabs, because yeah, trying to decipher how I played it could be interesting. Yeah, cheers for that, mate, thanks. You're welcome. Okay, so what with all this time off I've had recently, due to the fact I am furloughed, you would have thought that would give me all the time in the world to do these videos, but to be honest, it's kind of strange because when I have all the time in the world, I kind of find myself slacking off. It's bad really, because I've got all this time to play guitar, but I find myself just, if I do pick it up, I'm generally just noodling away, just messing around with blues licks and just mucking about. Not really sort of spending all my time focusing on songs. I think when I've got work, because I work full time, I have a limited amount of time to like learn songs and stuff, so I'm kind of like laser focused on it. Whereas if I have all the time in the world, then I'm just kind of like just mucking about and like having more fun, I guess you could say, but I'm not like super focused. So I'm going to try and rectify that and sort of like try a bit harder, I guess. I mean, I always put a lot of effort in, as I always say, but yeah, I need to be more kind of like focused and you know, stop slacking off so much. Naughty. Yeah, other than that, if you have enjoyed the video, please feel free to hit like and subscribe, as you guys always do. And again, your continued support is always welcome, and it is most appreciated, I promise you that. Yeah, I mean, one thing I noticed when I was looking through what I thought was the booklet to the Insomniac album, it's actually a poster. Now, I don't know why you would want to put this poster on the wall, because it's the booklet to the album, so why would you want to ruin it? Kind of a strange one there, but hey ho, I don't know how I had not noticed that before. I probably did, but I've just forgotten because I'm getting old now. Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? Take it easy, guys. Hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Peace. Bye. Okay, so I just finished filming this outro and I went out into my back garden and I realised that I'd left all of the windows downstairs open and my neighbours were actually out in their garden as well. So I'm pretty sure they just heard me chatting away to the camera for about 15 or 20 minutes. I don't know if they know I was talking to a camera or not, but I'm pretty sure they heard me just chatting away and repeating myself and everything, because, you know, when I do these outros, I don't always nail it the first time, so I end up repeating myself again and again, just trying to make what I'm saying sound coherent and, you know, make it sound like it makes sense. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they think I'm insane. Yeah, anyway, bye.